Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. Today we are going to be talking about, of course, the new update that has dropped for The Simpsons Tapped Out. So it's been a long time in between this and the last update, over a month, nearly 2 months. Actually, I think it's nearly been 2 months. I'm not entirely sure, but it's been a while anyway. Matt Selman was a little bit wrong how I said in my video that I didn't believe him 100%. He technically was right in the fact that the update came yesterday, but the actual event didn't activate until today. So he was like half right. I'll give him a point. I'll give him like half a point. He was sort of right, I guess, because technically the update did come yesterday, and you could see what characters we were gonna get. I didn't bother doing like a spoiler video because I already did one announcing the update. And yeah, I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, like I said, the length in between this and Marge of the Bat is kind of annoying. It's actually even more so because really Marge of the Bat was nothing. It gave us absolutely nothing. It was just a questline update. So really, this update didn't give us any. Like haven't had an update in a long time, is what I meant to say. And I'm a little disappointed that this is a mini event. And not a major event. I was expecting them to give us something like more than this, and with what they're doing, which essentially this is a Mother's Day event basically, even though it's a little bit late. This is essentially just a Mother's Day update, and they could have done so much more because any character who constitutes a mother, any character who is a mother, they could easily add, and they could definitely do a 4-act structure with this, with like a multi-event. They definitely had enough material, I think. I'm not off the top of my head. I can think of a few more mother characters who they could have added in, but I'm sure that there's loads. I'm sure there's loads of mother characters, and then you just have to find their respected buildings that they can come with, or you can just add random buildings. It doesn't really make much sense. It doesn't really matter too much. So I'm not really that bothered if the buildings are that consistent. But I do think the ones in this one were. Anyway, let's just talk quickly about the questline, and then we'll get into it. I think the questline overall was pretty good. There was definitely some funny moments in there. I do have a few little things I want to pick on it, but we'll get into that later on in the video. Yeah, but overall, I think this update is okay. It's not an amazing update, but it's not a bad update by any stretch. So first of all, let's talk about the prize track. Of course, it's just the normal mini event prize track structure. Again, as I say in every mini event, I'm not going to bother complaining about it because there's no point, because this is just the norm. So essentially the prize track goes as followed. So you get the Kitchen Carnival first, you get the Jittery Joe's Coffee. We'll talk about those two later. Also, the next is a land token, but if you don't have Mona and Nana Sophie Mussolini, you get those two characters, both of them in one, which I think is very cool. You get both those characters in one if you haven't got them yet. But if you have got them, you get a land token instead. Obviously, I got a land token because I already have them. And then for me, how it went was Jake Boyman and Mrs. Prince. So I got Jake Boyman next, and then I got Mrs. Prince. But for some people, it's the other way around. You get Mrs. Prince first, and then Jake Boyman. I found that really weird. Some people saying that they got different. I don't know if it's maybe like depending where you are in the world, but yeah, for some weird reason, some people unlocked Jake Boyman last and Martha Prince first. But I unlocked Martha Prince last. I call her Martha Prince. She's called Mrs. Prince in the game, but she is Martha Prince. That's her name. But anyway, standard prize track. Overall, I'm pretty happy with what the prizes are. Apart from maybe the first prize, I think it's kind of crappy. But I do like how they have the land token swapped out for something that old players don't have, because I do like it when they do that. I meant new players. But anyway, also, just to quickly mention, moving on from the whole like Jake Boyman, Mrs. Prince kind of swapperoo, which some people are saying that they have. Another thing that I found a little odd is I got this error here. So as you can see, essentially I reached the limit of the amount of was it gift cards or whatever it was, or whatever the heck I don't think it was gift cards, but the event currency. I reached the limit of 150. Because I don't know. basically is a glitch in the game. So you exceed 150 and the questline will glitch out because it actually requires 200. There is actually an easy, the wiki's like warning people not to do this. It's really, really easy. You can just click on a character and you just manually send them to go do the job. It's not hard to fix, but I don't know, I experienced this glitch and I was confused for a few seconds, but then I figured it out. I didn't actually need the wiki, but if you do experience this, just find like Sarah Wiggum or Marge or Bart or something and just send them manually. But it is kind of annoying that this glitch kind of came because it did stop me for a few seconds, but not a massive deal. And then also we'll just move on to characters now. So here are the sort of these are the two characters that we get in the update. So we have both Mrs. Prince, or also known as Martha Prince, and we have Mrs. McElberry, also known as Jerry McElberry. I find it weird that they gave Jerry McElberry her name in this, but that they didn't give Martha her name in Tsto. So Martha's just known as Mrs. Prince in the game, and Jerry McElberry is just known as Jerry McElberry. Yeah, I think these two are solid characters. They're characters that I've wanted the princes anyway in the game for a while. I've not been too bothered about the McElberrys. Of course, now it kind of annoys me because in a little bit, but I think that there is a good follow-up update for this. But it annoys me that we haven't got the dads. So we haven't got Barry McElberry and we haven't got Martin Prince Sr. But hey, maybe that's the perfect idea for a Father's Day update, which I will do a video on, don't worry, because it's just gonna be simple. So yeah, those two characters I think are both pretty cool. Of course, Jerry McElberry is premium and Mrs. Prince is free as long as you as long as you complete the prize track. And then also we got one costume, and I normally kind of get a little iffy on costumes, but this one I'm very happy with. So this is Jake Boyman. Of course, this is a costume for Lisa. This comes from, I actually did an event idea on this a while ago, where of course I talked about having this in making an event out of the episode that Jake Boyman appears in, or Lisa, where Lisa creates Jake Boyman. Yeah, I think it is a really solid costume. I really do enjoy this. My one little complaint, though, is they combined the questline of Jake Boyman with the questline for Martha Prince, and that actually really annoys me because they're not even related in the slightest, and I think that questline for both of those characters, for that costume and that character, was really, it felt forced, like they were just forcing a story to combine them. It felt kind of lazy as well. I think I don't understand why they couldn't give us a questline for both, and I think Jake Boyman could have had a really cool questline. But yeah, definitely probably one of my favourite costumes of this year, and probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Lisa costume, because I think the voice and some of the tasks and, the questline lets it down a little bit, but I think overall it's a really solid costume. And then here we have our building showcase. So we only got, building and decoration showcase. So we only got 2 buildings and 1 decoration. So we got Jittery Joe's Coffee, which is, as you can see there. So this is appeared in Marge on the Lam, which was we'll check what season it was. So that was a season 5 episode. So that's quite an old building. And then we of course got the Needle Exchange, which I talk about more in detail in my premium gameplay video, so you can wait for that to hear about the Needle Exchange. And then also we got right here the Kitchen Carnival. I think this one's a little crappy. It's just kind of small and minuscule. I don't know, it kind of annoys me when they give us these tiny little decorations, but I mean, it really does show the state of decorations in Tsto. Like, we really don't get decorations anymore. We barely get buildings also, but they're really running out on decorations, and it makes me think they could just, there's so many things, like if they just go back to the drawing board of things that would be in an actual town. Like, what would we see in town? Like traffic lights. I'm not sure if there is traffic lights in the game. I don't actually know. I don't think there is. No, I don't believe there is. There isn't proper ones. Like that, for example. That could be good. Or we've obviously got the manhole, but it's a spy manhole. Which, yeah, I don't know. They definitely could come up with stuff. But anyway, let's move on to the event end screen. So that's literally the entire event. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think my opinion on the update overall is it's not bad, it's not amazing, it's a good update, it's an okay update. I think, like I said, there's some issues with it. The glitches, the weirdness with the Jake Boyman Martha Prince switch, the fact that they combine the Jake Boyman and Martha Prince questline annoys me. There's a few things that annoy me. I just think overall, there's nothing really that makes me go wow about this update. I like the theme. I do like how they're going for a Mother's Day update. I think that worked quite well. Would have made more sense though if they made it a little bit earlier. And also Mother's Day happens on. I know that Tapped Out's obviously an American game, like it's an American town that Springfield is, but Mother's Day is obviously different for different people. Like Mother's Day for me was not this month. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that could have been a cool way of releasing the updates if they released them separately, but I guess that would have been too confusing. But whatever. Apart from it being late and things like that, I think overall it's an okay update. I'm not going to punish this update in my review for the space between this and March of the Bat, but I will say that really killed the momentum. And that's really let this entire year down, because it started off pretty strong. And the fact that so far, we're almost halfway through the year, we've only got one major update. That's all we've got so far in terms of this year. And it's very disappointing that we've literally only got one. But yeah, that's it for the video. That's it for this video anyway, guys. Tell me your thoughts on the update, and I shall see you next one. Premium gameplay for Jerry McElberry will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, goodbye.